All right, good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by award-winning Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. Book your stay and play right now, PearlRiverResort.com. Our guests join us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone, and we're excited to welcome in former star running back at Southern Miss, Derrick Nix, who will be inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame this weekend with an unbelievable class, by the way. And, of course, Derrick went on to coach at Southern Miss, long time at Ole Miss, now at Auburn as Hugh Freeze's offensive coordinator, awesome coach and recruiter. And Derrick Nix joins us on the Out of Bounds Show. Derrick, congratulations. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity to get on and talk a little bit today.
Well, so where were you when you got the call from, I guess, whoever at the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame that said, "Hey, Derrick Nix, you're going into the Hall of Fame"?
I think I was. I can't remember if it was a Tuesday practice or a Wednesday practice last fall. Our SID here at Auburn came up at the practice. I think so. I got some great news for you, and I think they've been trying to reach you all day. And I want to let you know you've been inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. And I called back over to the Hall of Fame to kind of confirm it. And you're talking about somebody excited and kind of not seeing it coming, and just thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, you were an awesome player at Southern Miss, and I remember watching you play. And then you went on to coach here at Southern Miss and Ole Miss for a long time, and did an amazing job. Now at Auburn. So who was the lead recruiter? What Southern Miss coach was the lead recruiter on you? Because you grew up in Attala, Alabama. Is that right, Derrick?
That's correct. You know, it was kind of between really indirectly my brother, Tyrone Nix, and the running back coach at the time, Steve Buckley. Steve Buckley, I think Tyrone kind of wanted to make sure it wasn't because of him being there as a coach that I came there. So he kind of handed the reins over to Coach Buckley. But, man, I had the recruitment for me there really was so indirect. I've been going there and watching Brett Favre play when my brother was an athlete there. And after he graduated, I still followed up. And then I would be there in the summertime working out. And I went to basketball camps in Hattiesburg. And, before I knew it, it had been ingrained in me that, you know what? It's probably what you're going to end up doing. Had some opportunity to go some other places, and ended up ultimately settling on Southern Miss.
Well, it worked out. So did Auburn and Bama recruit you?
Alabama did, really, probably throughout the whole calendar of my senior year. I got offered by them pretty early. It was more of a fullback / linebacker. Auburn kind of came in like right at the end and kind of made an offer to me. Really when recruitment had died. So I actually had an official visit set up to go to Alabama. And my dad, who just passed a month ago, he said, "Man, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Derek, we're not going to Alabama." He said, "If you stand in the state of Alabama, it's Auburn." We were Auburn fans at the time. And He said, we're not taking a trip to Alabama. So let me get that out of your head
now. All right. And so, wow. So, obviously Tyrone had played at Southern Miss and had a phenomenal career, as you just referenced. And Jeff Bauer was rolling during that time. So you go to Southern Miss, you had an unbelievable career, and then you had the kidney disease. Was that after your junior? Help me with the timeline, Derrick. How did that? Because you were unbelievable, averaged almost 5 yards a carry, 30 touchdowns, 3,600 yards on the ground, great player. When did you find out you had the kidney disease?
It was you're correct, my junior year, in the year 2000. It's probably about game 4 or 5, I think. I got hurt against Memphis and never really recovered with a sprained ankle, and found did some blood work about maybe 3 games later and found out I had a kidney problem or issue going on with my body retaining protein, and so I was shut down the rest of that year. Came back briefly for that spring of 2001, ultimately had a setback that summer, had a blood clot, and that was in my lungs, and ended up in the hospital most of that summer, and sat out the season of 2001. Came back the spring of 2002 and followed up that season, and never really got back to 100%, but was able to at least go out and finish out my career there.
Okay, and you got a kidney transplant from your brother Marcus, is that right?
That's right. In the summer of 2003, I think that June, I think I was on dialysis for about 6 or 7 months, and
Wow.
it was so funny, man. I played my final game, senior day, against East Carolina. Probably had 130 yards, scored a touchdown, and went the following week to get blood work and found out I was down to probably less than 5% of kidney function, and I had to go immediately on dialysis. And like you said earlier, my brother Marcus ended up being a perfect match. I think they go on a scale of 0 through 6, and he was a 6 out of 6 as a match for me.
Wow.
And so it was kind of a God thing for that to happen. Me and him didn't have the greatest relationship. Not that it was bad, just he wasn't involved in athletics or sports. He went into the Air Force and was a military guy. You know, obviously Tyrone was a football player and a coach, so he had a little bit more time,
Sure.
a little bit more fun. So for him to be the match, it was awesome. Kind of grew us together a bit more, and got the transplant that summer. Recovered a bit, and Coach Bauer made me a GA that fall of 2003, and of all the places I GA'd on defense, and which ultimately it really helped me.
Sure.
I got in the back end with Coach Hobson and with Jay Hobson, and
Jay's a great guy.
he is an awesome guy, and he took me under his wing, and I basically coached the safeties and learned coverages and how to make a little adjustments on the back end, and and then Coach Bauer hired me as a tight ends coach the following year, and kind of my coaching career took off after that.
That's incredible. Derrick Nix is going into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame this weekend. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. He's the offensive coordinator at Auburn, which I think they're going to have a really big year. Freeze and Nix and the group that they put together, and I like their schedule too. Derrick joins us on 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. When you from when you had the transplant, like how long did it take you to get to feel a lot better and get healthy, Derrick?
It was amazing. I'll tell you, I when I found out I had to do dialysis, obviously I was sad, but I was feeling so bad. I was probably during that season of 2002, I probably couldn't go back and play no more than 3 plays in a row without having to get a break. And that was after 98, 99, where I basically didn't sub. Right. So it was a big difference in my stamina and being able to play. So when I got to do dialysis, I got into a routine, learned how to do it at home. I was going to class, and I said, you know what? At least I feel better than I did in the fall. I know I could kind of make this last for a long time. I got to the point briefly where I said, man, I don't even know if I want to do the surgery to get the transplant. Well, that was me being naive and not unknowledgeable. As soon as I woke up from the surgery, from the transplant, I can immediately feel a total difference.
Wow.
I mean, just energy, just vigor. I mean, everything that I had been missing, I guess I'd had it so long, man, it just transformed me from the color of my eyes, skin. I mean, everything basically, transformed over that time. And but I can remember waking up from that surgery and immediately feeling different.
Wow. Derrick Nix on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, going into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame this weekend. It's going to be an unbelievable weekend. The drawdown on Friday's phenomenal. Great, great party. And then Saturday morning, the inductees will be at the museum signing autographs, meet and greet. That's awesome. And then that night they'll have the big banquet where they'll be inducted. So it's Dexter McCluster, Steve Freeman, Derrick Nix. I mean, it's an incredible, Steve Reeves. It's an incredible class of very, very accomplished people. We've been involved with this for years, and it's awesome that Derrick is one of the inductees this year. So, so you get Houston Nutt hired you at Ole Miss. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Was Tyrone already there?
He had already been hired. He may have gotten there maybe a week before I did.
Okay. And then, man, what a run, because you know how hard it is to, I mean, your profession, right? I mean, it's hard to stay somewhere for, I think, almost 15 years or whatever it was, Derrick, but you made it through Nutt, Freeze, Luke, and Kiffin, which says a lot about you as a coach and a recruiter. So, I mean, that's unbelievable. That doesn't happen in this profession.
It doesn't. And, the first thing I do, I have to give credit to God, but he put me where he wanted me. And, I got a chance, like you said earlier, to get in there in front of Coach Nutt, and he hired me right on the spot. And, in between that 16 years I was there, everybody said, man, it was great. You got to stay there that many times. But there was a time I cleaned up that office and went home, and in between some of those hires, and was sitting there, didn't know what the next opportunity is going to be. And in between Coach Nutt and Freeze, we played the Egg Bowl, cleaned out my office, and I'm gone. And probably I don't get hired back until probably like early January with Coach Freeze.
Wow.
I interviewed with him, and he called me back within like 15 minutes and told me, man, the job is mine if I wanted it. And I'm very thankful for that God put it on his heart to hire me, to put me a part of that. That scheme and offense there with him, and
oh yeah,
culture that he established as a team. And that was a 5-year run. And obviously, like you said, we transitioned from Coach Freeze to Coach Luke.
Yeah.
And between Coach Luke and Coach Kiffin, same thing. Didn't get retained initially. Got back and called back. I was about to take a job to go to Texas State to go be a receiver coach there. And Coach Kiffin called me that day and said, hey, man, we got a spot here to be a receiver coach. Hey, I can help you. And I've been doing receivers forever, and ended up working out great 4 years there with Coach Kiffin. And just that whole community there in Oxford, Mississippi, the University of Mississippi. I mean, my wife ended up establishing her identity. She worked at Oxford High School or Oxford Middle, I'm sorry, and found our church home. And so it was just an awesome, awesome time there.
That's great. Those are some really good coaches you coached with. Wow. Derrick Nix on the Out of Bounds Show, Hall of Famer 2025. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. All right, what do you like coaching? I mean, I know you're a great running back, but y'all can coach other positions. What do you like better, running back or wide receiver? Coach. I
really have to do them both. I've coached tight ends, I coach running backs, I coach wide receivers. I probably enjoy on game day, probably wide receivers, especially in today's game. It's more involved.
Sure.
But chasing receivers down between Sunday and Friday is a work in itself. I will say though, probably my heart, you cut me open though, being at running back is my home. And you probably got about 7 or 8 running backs, and I can really be more personable with them and have more one-on-one time, and kind of really, besides the football coach, and be really involved in their lives too. So that part of it makes it fun for me.
Yeah. All right. So walk me through this. So you had Bolden, who went on to play in the NFL. You had Dexter, and I remember Jeff Scott, Jalen Walton. Jeff Scott took a run around the end against Vanderbilt one night to, I guess, win the game for y'all. Do you remember that, Derrick?
He saved that tail. That was the opening game of the season.
Yeah.
And we called Green 9, thinking that we're going to just be able to go get a few yards, and he's going to get out of the bounds, ran it to the left sideline, and which is Powell Reed. And lo and behold, he made a guy miss, cut back, and like you said, he flipped the field and scored a touchdown, and we win. And tell you what, remarkable player. But yeah, Brandon Bolden, awesome adult man now. And then obviously had a great opportunity to coach Dexter. And my biggest job with coaching Dexter is just making sure he gets to the bus on time. So he was very, very talented.
Yeah, so talk about that. I mean, that guy could do so many different – he was a Swiss Army knife for you in Houston Nutt. I mean, that was kind of new and cool, the Wildcat thing that he was – I guess he started doing it with McFadden and Felix, and then y'all took it over to Ole Miss with Dexter and others. Is that right, Derrick? That's
correct. Coach Nutt had huge success at Arkansas with McFadden and Felix Jones and Peyton Hillis with that formation. And brought it over to Ole Miss, and Dexter and Brandon Bolden kind of shared it, and obviously Dexter had a bulk of success with it, and he could line up a receiver. I think Dexter, to this day, I know somebody else may have done it now, but I know he was the first player to rush for 1,000 yards and catch for 500 in one season in the SEC. And what I remember about Dexter is just his heart, man, and his want to. Besides the ability he had, because Dexter wasn't a huge guy, but he can make you miss. He had good instincts. He was quick. He was fast, and he played with a lot of toughness. And that is what I remember. And he never complained. Just said, "Coach, what do I do?" And obviously, you like coaching those type of kids.
Yeah, with Dexter, when did you know? Was it spring practice or was it the season when you said, "Wow, this guy's a difference maker"?
Probably in a practice, probably into a fall camp, and we figured out early that we got to create some different ways besides this guy just lining up a receiver to get him the ball.
Yeah.
And it was probably after about game 3 or 4 of 2008 that we moved him to the running back room full time. And we wanted to be in there where he could work on ball security stuff too, and get in pass protection stuff, and to go along with his receiving skills, and also just get him used to being a full-time running back, and did that. And then obviously in the 2009 season, he kind of took off and furthered that start in 2008.
Have you talked to him lately?
I have not. Probably the last time I seen him and talked to him, we were at an Ole Miss game, and I think it might have been for an LSU, maybe the 2022 season.
Okay.
He was there, and I got a chance to talk with him for a brief moment.
When we're visiting with Derrick Nix, star running back at Southern Miss, longtime coach in the state of Mississippi, at Southern Miss and Ole Miss, now offensive coordinator at Auburn. He joins us on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. When Nutt first showed you or the offensive staff what y'all were going to do with the Wildcat, what was your initial reaction, Derrick?
I was so young at the time, and I was 27, 28 years old. It was all intriguing to me because it was, something I had never done. But obviously it was featuring the tailback, and, it's kind of just a +1 type run. So we could do all of our normal offense, running power, running counter, running inside zone, running jet sweep, and the tailback was at the control center of it. So it was all exciting to me and brand new.
Wow, that's so cool. How good was Jalen Walton? That dude could do it all. Good.
He could do it all, and he's another one that's in that mode of Dexter, just tough, man. There's smaller guys for a while. They said, "Well, Coach Nix, how come you don't recruit any guys that look like you?" And I said, "Well, these guys here, man, they're fast, they're hard to see, and they're extremely tough." And Jalen, man, he put in the work too. That's probably the other thing, is just the mindset of these kids. They wanted to go be the very best, and Jalen had all of those characteristics of work ethic, working in the weight room, studying film, and just trying to be elite at his craft.
Yeah. Derrick Nix on the Out of Bounds Show. Awesome. Well, are you fired up about Jackson Arnold and 2025 for War Eagle Nation?
I am. I'm very excited. I think our staff, starting with Coach Freeze, and our assistant coach did a great job, and our recruiting staff did a great job going out in the off season and filling in the necessary holes on our roster and retaining the guys we need to come back from last season. Our guys, I got to give them credit. They've worked extremely hard in the off season, did a good job in spring, and have carried it over this summer, and eager to get started. We all the kids report tomorrow, and
oh, nice.
And we'll get going full time on Wednesday.
Okay. Well, it's going to be exciting. Baylor, man. Starting off with Aranda and Sawyer Robertson. So that's going to be one of the better games week 1. So Derrick Nix, congratulations. Well-deserved Hall of Fame induction. And I know you're excited about the weekend to see friends and family.
I am. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Derrick Nix on the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Unbelievable star running back for Southern Miss. Then went through the kidney disease. eventually gets a kidney transplant from his brother, Marcus. Boom, gets healthy and has a great coaching career at Southern Miss. I tell you what, Houston Nutt hiring Derrick Nix helped a lot of coaches at Ole Miss. Not just Houston, but Hugh Freeze, Matt Luke, and Lane Kiffin. Because Derrick Nix brought in a running ton of talent to Ole Miss over whatever he said, 16 years. Yeah. Which was, he's the best, he's the best recruiter, maybe the best assistant coach recruiter in the history of the state.
Yes.
We've had some good ones. Tony Hughes but like Jacob Peeler didn't have, he was phenomenal. So was Matt Luke. But not quite, although Matt was there for a while, not quite the longevity. But those three
Matt.
were insane.
Matt has to get some credit, though. Tunsil, technically, O-line.
That was Kiffin's brother. That was Chris Kiffin.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Chris Kiffin was the lead recruiter
on Laramie.
I'm pretty sure on Laramie.
Wow, I forgot about Chris Kiffin.
He worked for Freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I completely forgot.
But yeah, no, look, Matt Luke was awesome too.
Yeah.
But Derrick Nix for 16 years, he was a thorn in Mississippi State side and Bama, Auburn, LSU, and others. And now he's at Auburn as the offensive coordinator. They're going to win games. They know it.
Yeah.
Freeze, DJ Durkin, and Derrick Nix are going to win games.
Give me the over on whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. Let's look at that.
7.5. Last time I looked.
Circa's got it at
7.5. Yeah. Oh.
I'm going over on that because I think they can go 8-4.
Now to win $100.
No, they are going 8-4. They may do better than that, but they're going 8-4.
It is heavily favored.
That sounds like somebody's giving away money.
Well, it's minus 168, so you got to put 168 up to win 100, as opposed to everybody else's, like 110, a little juicier.
Got it.
So it is kind of favored. Now I'm sure you could find an alternate line at 8.5, and then I'm not. Yeah, but then it could be like plus 300.
Oh, I got you. Then I may be woolly again. Okay,
if it's plus 300, I'm willing to take it.
Okay,
I like them to win 9. You're favored in 10.
Ole Miss is a favorite in 11 of their 12 games. Now, I think some will be very close, like Florida at home, LSU at home, at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Those will be, but at Georgia, they'll be an underdog.
Okay, 1.
And then we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. Derrick Nix, a former star running back at Southern Miss, longtime assistant at Ole Miss, now offensive coordinator at Auburn. He joined us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Bundle your auto and home and save. Go local, go with the home team. As Jake Mangum likes to tell us, Farm Bureau Insurance, we're live in the Bank Plus studio.